All right, guys, welcome back to Crossman Productions. Man, it has been a crazy week. We've had some just some awesome people, come in the last, I want to say 2 weeks, really. Um, you know, we've had Olivia Disney. We've had the cast and crew from Voorhees, Night of the Beast, which we had, probably the most people we've ever had on the show at one time, which was a lot of fun to do. Sean Cronin, Ginger Crossman, and Bree Brooke. I mean, we just had a list, and we have some more coming up. Um, One of them is today. I'm bringing in somebody that was in the with the group with the Voorhees, but he didn't get to really speak because I don't know. We had some technical difficulties on his end, but so I wanted to bring him in, and I wanted him to share his journey, and let's get to know more about him. I had tons of questions to ask him. You know how technology is. So I didn't get to ask him. So you know what? I decided we're going to do a special interview and just bring him in and get to know him personally. So I want to introduce you guys to my friend, CJ Bernard. What's up,
Nice to meet
brother?
you.
So how's everything going, man?
Everything's going great. It's a pleasure to be here. Well, be here again with
Right,
no internet lag.
right.
Take that,
Well, knock
weather.
on wood. So yeah, I'm excited about having you come in and get to know you. Give me a second. I'm gonna turn on the comments so we can see people. Um, so yeah, I'm excited about having you on and getting to know your story. So, and like I said, man, it kind of sucks that they kept dropping you on that last interview, but here you are. so,
Oh
uh,
gosh.
welcome to the show, man.
Oh, thank you. It's so nice to be here and be heard. It's so nice. I have to
Okay.
like put on my show voice and everything. Oh my gosh. Ooh, get ready for everything.
Well,
It's a
cool,
pleasure
man.
to be here.
So we're gonna start. We're gonna let's talk about kind of where you were born and raised, and what was life like for CJ growing up?
Ooh, okay. So, for starters, I was born in Anchorage, Alaska, and I
Oh
was
wow,
raised all over the world, basically. So, it was a little bit in Alaska, a little bit in Dover, Delaware, and then I was like, for the rest of my adulthood life, raised in Arkansas.
wow, that's going from Alaska to Arkansas. That's a huge difference.
Yeah, it's a big difference. And then like immediately from Delaware to Arkansas is an even bigger difference because the temperature change is so different. Like
Right,
going from Delaware in the midsummer to Arkansas midsummer. It's
completely
not
different.
nice. It's
Right.
not fun.
So like in Arkansas, does it get really hot in Arkansas?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like it's not Louisiana humidity hot, but it's
right.
also so hot that you're just like, I don't know why people invented clothes because I'm going to die and
Right,
everybody's just going to see me in a pool of like cotton sweat.
right.
So, yeah, it's hot here.
Yeah. That's like when I first moved from Chicago to Texas, and I moved from in the middle of the summer. It was probably I want to say 103 here in Texas, which is Texas gets hot, and I
Yeah.
decided in Chicago I walked all over the place, and I'm like what. I'm gonna walk from one side of the town to the other, side in 103-degree weather. Dude, I swear, I got to where I was supposed to go. I thought I was gonna die of heat exhaustion, man. I thought I was gonna
Yeah.
die.
I don't blame you. Oh God, that's terrifying.
Right?
And I played football growing up, so it was like when I was playing football in Delaware, I was killing it because I could like breathe and feel the weather and everything was just so nice.
Yep.
And then when I moved down here, I was like, I can't
Oh
I can't breathe. I'm sweating and like I can't understand a single thing my football coach is talking to me about because
no.
he had like that water boy football coach talk. And I was just like, sir, I can't understand what you're asking me. Can you tell me like one more time, please? And he'd just be like, run a lap. I'm done talking to you. So if one thing I got very conditioned to the
Right?
weather, but I never understood the accent fully.
Well, cool. So let me ask you. So when you moved to Arkansas, kind of how did things kind of just transpire? What was that like? And then where did you kind of find your passion and your purpose?
Okay. Me moving to Arkansas I came from a military family, and it
Okay.
was just more of a, hey, we're moving from here to here, and we'll get like a family briefing beforehand, and like, yeah, we just got moved to Arkansas, where most of my family is. So I was just like, all right, yeah, sure, I'm down with living down here.
Oh,
And what got me into acting is I've always been a person of like spectacle. So even when I was doing sports and stuff, I
right,
was like, I want the crowd to be happy.
right,
So uh, I've been just sort of aiming my way towards like entertaining people.
right.
And with I have a funny story. I did a wrestling match once and I accidentally pulled a kid's leg out of socket. And I
Uh,
felt really, really bad. But the kid had like I don't know what kind of drive you would call it, but the person wanted to keep wrestling. And I looked at my wrestling coach like, yeah, I'm not going to be able to keep doing this. And I didn't let him win per se, but in the same breath, I wasn't going to like go out of my way to win.
right.
So he ended up winning that wrestling match, but people thought that was like the hypest wrestling match that they ever saw. And that
Wow.
person was undefeated. And I wasn't an undefeated wrestler, but I had a very good record for a person on his first year of wrestling. So
Right.
it was a fun, entertaining match to watch for people.
Wow.
And ever since then, I've just been like entertained by acting. I also saw this show called Les Mis on
Mhm.
Broadway when I was in high school, and I was just like, wait, these people get paid to do
Right.
this for a living? Like they can daydream and be characters for money?
Right.
And I was like, oh, please count me in. I want to do this. This is what I was made for. I daydream on a constant. Like, why can't I?
Right.
And yeah, ever since then, I've just been like looking for roles and stuff. Like, I want that.
Right. So, and you've been doing several films. I know that I've actually watched you in Voorhees and in Masquerade.
My pleasure.
So yeah, I mean you're a great actor. I mean you're following your passion. So yeah. So let me ask you this: so when you were in Arkansas, you first started. Yeah, you were involved in sports. Did you at any point think that that was like the first path that you were going to take? Is just like go play maybe professional somewhere, play football or wrestling, somewhere.
Okay, so this is awkward, but when I first started doing sports, it was because my dad was like, he went into semi pros. He was really very good at sports and whatnot. And like,
Right,
he was very good at basketball and football and baseball. So I was like, I want to be good at sports too. And I
right,
was just a natural at football because he raised me as like a kid to play football.
right,
So all the way up until like college, I was very good at football. And out of nowhere, a person asked me if I wanted to do wrestling, And I was like, no, in elementary school, I don't want to do wrestling. And
Right.
then in high school, one of my bullies was in wrestling, and I was just like, I might want to do wrestling just in case I can wrestle him,
Right.
so I can get revenge.
Right.
And it was pretty fun, but yeah, I did most of the stuff just because I thought I could do something with it, more so
Right.
football than wrestling. But football was I want to just do really, really well so I can at least get to where my dad was or a little bit better.
Right.
But never really happened. I got close enough to where I got into college football, and then like I discovered what I wanted to do in life. So I kind of quit football and wrestling, and it was like, yeah, if I keep doing these sports, I might end up like hurting myself or somebody else, and it would make me feel a little bit bad.
Right.
So I was like, yeah, I'd rather just do acting. This is something I can do, and I can communicate with other people like, hey, I'm doing this. So duck or like
Right.
watch out.
Right. And, I can see that too, because sometimes, you know, we we try to do that. Go a route where we want to. I don't want to say please like our parents. You know what I mean? But we want to make them proud of us.
Right.
And so my mom and my grandma was that way. They kept telling me, all the time I was growing up, oh, you're going to grow up to be a lawyer. You're going to be, grow up to be an attorney. Your name, Parks McGregor.
Right.
That's an attorney name. So I actually pursued that. And I was good at it. But once I got into law school, I realized that wasn't really my passion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I could see that. I mean, you get there and then you actually find something that you really are passionate about. Not that I'm not passionate about law, but I just found a different way to do it. But being an attorney itself, there's, I talked to Sunita about this. It's just there's a whole, I had this whole feeling, this thing with the whole justice system, because there's no truth in it. It's all about who can argue the best. You know what I mean? So, so I left that. So I see where you're coming from. You know what I mean? Where you wanted to play sports because that's what your dad was good at. And then then you found your way into acting. So let me ask you this: you saw that play. Was there like a moment, and that you're like, you saw that thing, and you're like, hey, this is something I really want to do, and I really want to pursue it. And when you came to that point, what kind of steps did you take to actually, go that path?
It's kind of cheesy, but when I was watching the play and I was sitting in the audience amongst a bunch of people, it was kind of like that feeling of when you like stare off into the stars and you look into the ceiling and you're just like, I'm very small and insignificant, and like you look in the stage and you watch the people, and it wasn't a combination of it wasn't just like the one actor talking. It was a combination of him, the stage work, the lighting, the music, the singing, the orchestra. It was all of it. Like the teamwork was just so perfect. And
Right.
when the person started talking and walking on stage, and this platform on the stage itself started rotating, and he was walking with the stage, I was just like, this is just an ordinary person doing something that I would love to do. And I can see that he himself is loving doing what he's doing. And I appreciate it. And like that moment right there made me realize, oh shit, this is what I want to do.
Wow.
Because like I could tell the amount of passion that everybody put in what they did.
Right.
And it was just like, I'm there.
Cool.
Like all sense of the moment was gone. Like I was living right there with that person doing what they were doing. And it was like, this is what it's like to enjoy stuff. It was like me being an adult, like a teenage angsty kid, feeling like a little kid. And every time I look back at that moment, all forms of my life, I'm just like, I want to recreate that moment for people.
Right. That's awesome. So now, did you start like doing plays, or did you kind of go into doing film? What kind of?
All right, so it's kind of awkward. I started off doing like my own films, like home movies type things,
Okay,
and then I did films with a friend, and when I worked as a bagger, and then I did theater, and then that's when I got ultra passionate about it, and then I've been doing film ever since. But I still look for like theater shows, but I want specific roles in plays that I can do. Because if I'm gonna have to like do day by day rehearsals with people about the same script and stuff,
right,
I want that role that I can like constantly bring 100 to it.
right. So let me ask you this: doing theater and doing acting. I mean, those are two different beasts. Do you find one more challenging than the other?
Uh, they both bring their own equal sets of like challenges to each other.
Hmm.
Like with theater, you know what the person is going to bring to you when you're doing it. But on set, you have like maybe one or two good rehearsals that you can like have and you know what they're going to do.
Right,
So it's more of a, I don't know. I find both of them equally challenging. It's just more of a matter of what you bring to the table, if that
right,
makes sense.
right. And I can see that. Some of the people I talk to that is done both. Um,
Hmm.
you know, they said it's different because on in theater you don't get second chances.
No,
You're just
there's
up
no.
there. You're doing your lines, and then it depends on the set that you're on. Because some sets you could do multiple takes, and in some sets they just want you to get right the first time. So, yeah. Uh, have you found that to be the case too? Working on the different sets,
Oh man, the one glorious thing about like film
right?
is you can do another take, and I'm not the most perfect human being. I'll flub
R-
up, I'll say wrong things, or like
Right,
sometimes I'll forget a line or I'll say something completely, not like completely different, but a
right,
little bit similar to what the line is because I've rehearsed it so many times in my head. And
right,
like after the 30th rehearsal, you start like ad-libbing a little bit more.
right,
And I've noticed whenever I do like plays on tech rehearsals, I would be like that guy. And it would be like, your line is meet me at the balcony. And I would be
right.
like, eat me by the balcony.
Well,
And it's something you can't say during a play, but
right,
like that split second when you're on a play and you're like filming,
right,
that one thought process, your mind immediately like starts thinking, don't say that line, don't say that line, don't say that line. But you can mess up on film and say the
right,
line.
right.
In a play, no,
Yeah, you can't do
no,
it.
right. You can't say eat me at a balcony on a play because everybody's just going to be like,
What did they just say?
are we supposed to, is he supposed to be eaten? What's going on? Yeah, so in that sense, film's a little bit easier.
Cool. So now you've done how many films have you done so far?
I've done a couple. I don't know. That's a really good question. Like, uh, if we're counting like films I've done ever since like middle school up, I'm in the upper echelons of like 30, 50.
Oh wow.
Like, I've done a few.
Right.
Most of them have been like fun family films.
Right.
And then like some of them have been horror films. A couple of them have been like other films. Like I've been living my dream as I like think about it and talk it out loud. Like I want to do all spectrums of movies.
Right.
So Yeah, I've been doing a couple of movies. Some of them are out there for people to watch. Other than them are like nowhere to be found.
Well, so let me ask you this. So, you know, as you've been doing these films, what is the biggest thing that you've learned in by doing films?
The biggest thing that I've learned by doing films, uh, humble yourself.
Hmm.
Like you could run into an actor that has done no movies whatsoever, but
Right.
they've worked and studied that script so hard that
Hmm.
they are that character. And it's been like the best experience you've ever ran into. And like, there's no small roles. So, like, just accept whatever role you get and be really happy for it because they are always going to be the best if you go in there and try to have a good time. That's
Right.
the only experience I could tell another actor that has like a bit of a complex or like I feel like I should have gotten this other role or like I'm only accepting this because of this reason and
Right.
never do it for that reason. Just do it because this is what I want to do. This is what I'm made for. This is what I can bring to the table.
Right. That's awesome advice too. Um, so let me ask you this: you've been doing films for a while, uh,
Mhm.
and have you thought about maybe directing or producing or writing a film?
I have, but in the same breath, whenever I get to a certain point of producing or doing other things of that nature, I'm like, I need money. And that next step always makes me go like, I gotta ask for money. And a bit of me is always just like, I don't want to do all that. I'm scared. Because when I tell somebody my idea about a movie and everything, I get all a little bit self-conscious. And
Right.
like, I don't know. I know my ideas are good. I know they're all cool.
Right.
Because I mean, look at me. I can create awesome characters all the time. So
Right.
it's just getting to that point, it makes me go, ah, I'll wait. I'll wait a little bit more. I need more power.
Well, well, you work with a great community out there.
Oh
Um,
yeah, definitely. If I had an idea that I was like 110% adamant on and passionate about, if I talked to my friends in the film community, they would definitely help me make that dream come true. And that's one thing I love about them because yeah, once we get passionate about something, it's a it's gonna happen.
right.
I love it about these guys.
So and you have great ideas. I mean, we were talking before we got on. Some of the things that that you're thinking about. You're passionate about like movies and like from the '80s. You know,
Hmm.
so I mean, I think you should go for it. I mean,
Oh yeah, definitely. I plan on definitely doing it. It's just
you got to overcome
making the
that.
first 5 minutes and the last 2 minutes of a film
Right.
is amazing,
Right.
but you still have to like make the rest of the roller coaster fun too.
Right.
And that's where I'm always like, all right, I have this idea, and this is how I want it to start, and this is how I want it to end. And
Right.
then, like, my brain's like, well, what about the middle? And I'm like, well, what the fuck about the middle? I'm sorry about that. Well, what about the middle, man? Did you see what I talked about in the opening? It's
Right.
awesome. So yeah, man. I'm excited about the ideas.
Right.
I need to solidify them.
Cool. So let me ask you this: is there a specific role or character that you would love to play?
Okay. So despite my personality, I feel like I would kill in a nice guy role or like a just that buddy role
Right.
or the sidekick or anything like that. But the role that I feel like would win me something is a villain role.
A villain?
Yeah, I think I would do a villain so much justice. Like,
You deal with Jason Pitts and tell him, cast you as a villain.
I'll hit him up one day whenever he's got like a film going on and he's like unsure about like a bad guy, and I just want to be like, hey man, hit me up, man. I know how to make things scary. I can be mean. I can be mean. I can be menacing. I've done things.
It's funny because we had Olivia Disney on, and she's like one of the sweetest people you've ever met. Just bubbly, just exciting personality, and to see her play the villain, on like Masquerade,
Bruh, I still get nightmares to this day about her like doing that movie. She scares. I love her to death.
Right.
But she scares the shit out of me sometimes. Like, she'll have a look at me. Like, one day, sometimes when we're like doing different movies nowadays, we'll be like casually talking and just chilling, hanging out, laughing, and then she'll just stop and stare at me, and then bust out the Masquerade stare, and I'm just like, did I bother you or something? I'm sorry. Like, I feel like I'm tied up in everything again, and I'm just like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you.
I can see you pulling off a role as a villain though. Like when you meet her, you would never think of that. You would never think, that she could pull off the villain. But she's like awesome, man. I can see you do the same thing. Kind of at the beginning of Masquerade when you guys came in, you guys were supposed to be the villains. You know what I mean? So
I was trying my best.
Right.
Whenever we were doing that movie, one of my favorite things to like reference was it's a whole squad of murderers.
Right.
So it has that like essence of Scream to it. And I wanted to be the funny guy from Scream that was Shaggy, because that's one of my favorite actors. And I was just like, you need that funny, happy-go-lucky guy that was just like, I'm here. We're doing this murder thing, but I'm doing it for the clout. Or like, I'm doing it for the lulz. Like that modern generation, I need this guy to die type person.
So definitely go talk to Jason or pursue that. Write it yourself.
I'm not saying anything.
So let me ask you this: if you could give somebody who's trying to get into acting some advice, what would you tell them?
It's never too late to go into acting.
Mm-hmm.
And also, when you go into an audition, you're not there for them. They're there for you. And you're just there to show them why you're the right fit.
Right.
So, just the only enemy that you ever have whenever you're going into auditions or like just thinking about going into acting is yourself. There's no competition. Everybody that you're working against, you might end up working with. So don't complicate things, man. Just they're a potential ally.
Right. And and that's the other thing too that I've learned too with meeting this acting community in Little Rock and the acting community that I've met in Florida is that they do a lot of movies together, and they always support one another. Even if they don't get a role and one of their friends get this, the role that they would technically want it, they still support each other.
Oh, yeah.
And I see that it's like looking at these just tight knit communities that are just like they're like family. When you get them together and you see them and talk to them, it's like small communities of just family. And so I see what you're saying is when you're on a set like that, whatever role you take, just be humble at it and do it, because you never know. First of all, you're gonna most likely work with those people again, and you never know what your next role is going to be in the next film.
Facts. Very, very true.
So let me ask you. So you've done um, Voorhees and you did Masquerade. Is there another one that's out there that um,
There is. One second. Let me double check. I know it's got Whisper in the name.
oh, okay.
Whispers. That's the name of the next movie that I'm doing. I'm also going to be doing some ADR work for Batman. We're going to
Okay.
keep it secret about that one, but yeah, those are the two films that I'm doing. I also do children's parties here in Arkansas
Okay.
where I dress up as for legal rights. I am Spider Spin and Panther King.
Oh, okay.
But you can tell who I am, and
Right.
there's something about doing kid parties that's like really enjoyable to me on a like a spiritual level. That's what
Right.
kind of also got me into acting. It was
Right.
like somebody dressed up and came as like a superhero for me as a kid, and I
Right.
was like, "Yo, man, that was Batman." And ever since then, I'm just like, if I can recreate that moment for literally just one kid, and I've
Right.
been doing that for like several kids by now,
Right.
it makes me happy because I'm just like, I can create that spark for somebody else. I can make another mini
Right.
me. Like, they'll come up and do a movie with me when I'm old or something and be like, you came and did like this Panther party, or you were Spider-Man for my birthday. And
Right.
I did you, and now I'm doing a movie with you. This is like what I was aiming for. And I'm like, I've been training for this moment my entire life. Thank you. Like, get excited and like hang out with the kid and whatnot. Like, I want to do what was made for me. Like,
Right.
I want to put back.
Awesome. And you talked about the upcoming Batman movie. I'm actually looking forward to that one as well. So um, we talked to Jason and actually the crew about that. Kept dropping out, but we were talking about the film and some of the roles that they were playing in it. So yeah, I'm excited to see that, man. I can't wait.
Yes. I don't know if people were giving out the names of the roles that they were giving, so I'm not going to say anything just yet. But yes, I am also in that movie, and I am excited to be in it because Batman is my favorite superhero of all time.
So that's gonna be great, man. Yeah, I'm excited. And yeah, I mean, just some of the characters that they were talking about. It's gonna be a lot of fun to see. So, and then once it comes out, Pro now I'll probably do a movie review and bring the whole cast on for it, and we'll talk about it again.
Yes, that way I can be like, yeah, I played this character, and yeah, I'm excited about this role because of this reason and that reason.
Right. Awesome, man. Well, so if somebody's wanting to follow you on your social media and learn more about you and the projects that you're working on, what's the best way for them to do that?
Okay, so I am not the best social media. Everybody in my film family can tell you that.
Right.
And
Yeah.
they will be like, the best way to reach CJ is directly through text message. But since that's elusive, you can hit me up on Facebook as my first name, last name, CJ Bernard, or my Instagram where I post random photos of me behind the scenes on films.
Okay.
And that is CJ underscore Bernard. So it's like
Bernard.
Bernard, but it's an E instead of a, yeah, you get it.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So what we'll do is we'll put that in the description, so you can send it to me, and I'll put it in the description. That way,
I shall.
people can follow you.
All
So,
right.
all right, man. Well, first of all, thank you for being on the show. It was great getting to meet you and get to learn about your journey. And secondly, I'm really looking forward to this Batman thing. So uh, that's going to be a lot of fun.
This Batman movie. If you could see the Batsuit, if I could spoil anything, Oh my God. Will, you
So
did a
that
great
now
job.
you guys know. Now you guys know to look out for the Batman movie. So, well, thank you, brother. Thank you so much for being on the show, man.
Thank you.
And so, um, yeah, I want you guys to definitely go check out his Facebook and his Instagram, and keep following him, and as he's putting out these new films. And then also, you guys remember to hit our subscribe button, like, comment, share. I want you guys to help us get this out, the show out to as many people as we can, because I love being able to bring in people like CJ, and be able to talk to them and learn their story. And then, the whole purpose of it is to inspire you guys, so that you guys can um, find and live out your purpose as well. So, all right, guys, until the next episode, remember, you are uniquely designed with a purpose, and always keep moving forward. Peace. Thank you, brother.
No problem, man. Anytime.